I'm Largo. This is the lair most of the time. Welcome to the Infinite Playlist. And as always, my cohort is here with me. Uh, Wilhelm. Wilhelm? That's not Wilhelm. That's it's an empty chair. But that looks familiar. I think I know who that belongs to. Well, we'll settle that mystery in a second. Let's introduce our kick-ass guest.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
All the way from the Pants Palace, it's LaserPants Display. It's going to be one of those nights. There he is.
Oh, hello, Chad. I mean, Jim.
Hey, buddy.
Where the hell is Chad? It says it's Chad right there. There's no Chad. I thought we were hiding off camera for some reason.
I don't know. I think he's playing with his dollies. That does
Okay.
happen.
Alrighty.
You know, he's a fan of the articulation. That's all I can say.
Yeah. That intro, that personalized intro was very cool.
Well,
I was-
we aim to please.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope my playlist lives up to that intro.
Oh, yeah. You know it will, because you bring your A game all the time. Speaking of which, welcome to the remix. You are our first recurring remix for 2024. So as we get some favorites from last year back into the lair, we'll be seeing some new playlists from some old favorites.
All
And
right.
this is where we're headed.
I'm the first. I like that.
You're
I
the
like
first.
I like being the first. I thought it was a skit. I thought Chad was doing a bit, but he's actually gone.
I don't know. He was here a second ago. He'll be back. My normal partner in crime, Wilhelm, has an ill family member he's minding, so he wasn't able to be with us tonight. But he's here in spirit, and he sends his regards. And I'm going to boot the chair down to the bottom.
Will, I hope everything's okay. I hope everything works out all right, man.
He's a multitasking fool these days, and I understand he's having some challenges keeping that work-life balance, as we all do from time to time.
I hear that.
But let's see what is in.
Should we like check to see if Chad's okay?
Maybe we should send him a message, or we could send a message to the ma'am and have her kick him in the keister, get him back in his chair. I don't know. Maybe he needed a tasty beverage.
Possibly.
But we have a very nice chair, and some pretty decent shelving there. Not as groovy as the Pants Palace with the lights and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Really very swanky.
Well, thank you. I actually prefer the chair over Chad's face, so it's fine. It's fine with me.
Well, it is what it is. Do we even have? We don't even have Skid Mark. We didn't even get a Skid Mark. We could have had Skid Mark as a co-host.
Not even a skid mark.
Wow, what is going on? I don't know. It's like dogs and cats living together. Crazy stuff. Anywho, I'm liking this playlist.
Good.
There's a lot of very cool stuff here. I didn't know if you meant to or not, but there's some Seattle flavor in this one that I didn't see in our previous playlist.
A couple, yeah.
And very cool. Even a couple of covers I was not aware of. So let's roll with it, and Chad will Chad when Chad wants to Chad.
All right.
Smashing Pumpkins. They were not on my radar until recently when Jeremy J popped in last year and showed some sweet, sweet love to the Smashing Pumpkins on his playlist. Then I started listening to them again. I was like, these are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Smashing Pumpkins. I came in a little late. My first album was Siamese Dream, not Gish, right? I remember where I bought it. I was at Stanford University. I was in middle school on a school field trip
Okay.
down in San Francisco. We took a 3-day trip down there, me and some kids in the class. And they took us to Stanford, and Stanford had its own mall.
Nice.
So we go in the mall, there's a record store. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we go in a record store, and I see that CD, and I've heard of the band. This is 1996. I've heard of the band, right? I'm like, well, I think this band is cool because I've heard of them. So I buy the CD,
Nice.
and I can't listen to it because I don't have a CD player. I think that this might be pre-Discman, or I didn't have one. I definitely had like a 4-track tape player.
But you had a way to play the disc when you got it home.
Yeah, so when I got it
Okay.
home, I had a little CD player in my room, and Cherub Rock starts off that album, Siamese
Okay.
Dream, and the intro was like a slow build, and I was instantly hooked. I listened to that. I listened to the Siamese Dream on repeat that the first day, like all day in my room. And that Cherub Rock, the first song on the album, that's my hands down favorite Smashing Pumpkin song to this day.
I got to agree. I like the ones that Jeremy turned me on to, but I would say Cherub Rock is probably my favorite now. I really like it. It's got it's just good background music. I was bebopping around the lair doing some stuff earlier. I had the playlist on, and it's cool. So
a lot of people are turned off by Billy Corgan's vocals, but they're so unique. No one really sounds like him, as nasally and I guess sharp.
Yeah. When he starts singing, it's him. It's not anybody else.
Yeah, you're not going to mistake.
Unique.
Right, you're not going to mistake anyone for that. And Cherub Rock, actually, very easy to play on bass.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, when I was in a band, I played drums. But we would do this thing where we'd switch instruments for one song, and I'd grab the bass and play Cherub Rock. It's like 3-4 notes or something like that. Super easy. But, man, that song rocks.
It is cool. I didn't realize until I started doing a little research for this playlist that he wrote this as a way to deal with his frustration dealing with the music industry. Apparently,
gotcha.
there was some shenanigans going on with how the album was being put together. He was not a happy camper. And so he wrote this as kind of a protest. Who knew?
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You just schooled me.
I have the interwebs at my disposal now that I have high-speed internet. So I'm learning all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right on. Yeah.
So moving right along,
Okay.
this one I was not aware of. I knew the original, the Nina from what year was that? 83.
Yeah, it was early 80s. Before I was, able to really remember listening to music. I was 2 years old in 83, right?
Yeah. Rub it in. I know. I'm freaking ancient.
But here's the thing. I didn't know that 99 Red Balloons by Goldfinger was a cover until I had been familiar with the song for a few years.
Well, yeah, it was one of the ones I remember. It hit MTV, and it was a weird, grainy, like video that was shot with, like a really cheap camera. It just looked weird. I didn't understand. Half of it was in German, depending on which version they were showing on MTV that week. And it was like,
right.
What is this? What is this? And it was kind of catchy. Later on, started, hearing the English version more, got to be popular for a minute. It was kind of their one hit as a band.
Yeah.
And then it went away. And then I heard this Goldfinger one on your playlist. I'm like, dude, so much better.
Oh man, so much better.
Better arrangement, the timing on it. I almost got kind of a Green Day vibe with these guys as far as their sound.
They would probably fall into that category, but they have more of a ska influence.
Mhm.
Goldfinger. But just I feel like 99 Red Balloons was meant to be a punk song because it has that timing, that starting, stopping, just really fast. The way, I mean, obviously they're going to play it really fast. But another one that I played when I was in a band, playing this song on drums was so much fun. It's
Oh,
not
I
that
imagine.
hard, but it's you can be a real showman with the drums on this song.
Oh, yeah, especially in the beginning when you're bringing it in. I mean, it's all
Yeah,
about the drums.
yeah,
And I love songs that tell a story. And, the 99 Luftballons and
right.
the English 99 Red Balloons is a war protest song that talks
Ah,
about the idea of, what if some crazy kids just release some helium balloons as a joke and some early warning radar system goes nuts, sees these crazy UFOs and decides to, you know, scramble the jets.
right.
So by the end of the song, they've accidentally started Armageddon. Everything's blown up except for like one guy and one red balloon. So
Hmm.
ends on a
That's
somber tone.
pretty dark.
It is.
Part of this song, the lead singer Goldfinger, he actually sings it in German,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
he sang it. He doesn't know German, but he sang it phonetically. He had someone write
Right.
out the lyrics phonetically, and that's how he sang it. Um,
I was gonna
but
say it sounded very similar to the original as far as the German. So
yeah,
yeah,
so to this day, if they do shows in Germany, people come up to him and start speaking to him in German because they assume he speaks German because apparently he does it really well.
yeah.
He says German, so yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, just a fun song, man. Love it.
Oh yeah. This was one I put on repeat a couple times when I was listening to the playlist because it's just fun.
Yeah.
They do a really great, and I love the video that this one has as well. Speaking of videos for you kids at home, the playlist is in the description below. And if you want to listen, if you want to pop it up on a separate window and simulcast or listen to it later at your leisure, whatever you want to do, go crazy. It's there for you. So
Cool.
enough about that. 311, 3311,
Yeah.
bringing some very cool vibes. Uh,
I came into this band in must have been 95 or 96. They got really popular. It was they were kind of a part of the whole ska thing that got real popular in the 90s again, but they stood out to me because they had a rapper in the band. This is before like Limp Bizkit and stuff.
right.
Um,
When everybody was doing crossover stuff.
right. But these guys, they had a very like reggae ska vibe, punk rock, and then they had a DJ that rapped. Um, and their drummer is amazing. Their drummer got good. He learned in like doing drumline stuff.
Oh, really?
So his molars
Like,
and everything, and his timing is impeccable. But this song, yeah, it says 2009. So when this came out, this was one of their harder songs, like heavier songs. And there's a guitar solo in it that just shreds. It's one of my favorite guitar solos.
it's
Uh,
very good. I
yeah,
did not know this either. You may know, but 311, the name for the band, comes from the police code for indecent exposure,
that's
which
right.
wasn't a band member, but a friend of theirs that
Right.
got nailed on that and inspired the name.
There was a urban legend in the 90s that 311 meant like the 11th letter of the alphabet is K.
Hmm.
So three Ks. They're like, there was this urban legend that they were secretly like this racist band that was, yeah, but of course that's not true. But
Yeah, you listen to their music, it's like these guys are so far away from anything
oh,
racist.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
not their vibe at all.
yeah. And how weird is it? I mean, they're from Omaha, but they're into like reggae and like, it's like what happened there? You're not into like country music, or I don't know. I always thought that was cool.
I'm guessing I've never been to Omaha that I'm consciously aware of, but if I was stuck in Omaha, I would be seeking some sort of escape, and reggae might be a good way. That ska,
Yeah,
all that good stuff. And they're very alternative in the fact,
yeah,
alternative is a catch-all for just all kinds of stuff. But
right.
they got the rap, they got the reggae, they've got the serious rock vibe, and it works. Um, I would love to have seen their tour, the Never Ending Summer Tour, where they're out there with the Offspring, and Gym Class Heroes. I've seen some footage, and they were having fun. Definitely having fun.
I didn't see him on this tour, but it was around that time. They played Merriamore Park here in Western Washington, and Sublime. I think it was Sublime with Rome opened for him.
Nice.
So it was the guys from Sublime with the new singer. What a great show, man! But I mean, they're on tour all the time. Like these guys, they're like the '90s band version of Fish. Like they're always, and they have this dedicated following.
Chad, what did you think? I hope he's okay. Maybe he had to run and deal with a chimichanga emergency or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pop him out until he comes back.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chad. You stream over the top of me all the time, huh? Taking my views.
I thought this would be a chance for some healing. You get some virtual hugging it out. Of him just, stepping on your time slot, and I blame that on that hockey hooligan you hang out with, because Bobby goaded him into going over.
I know. So me and Bobby are going to have words too.
Anyway, Korn. Speaking of angry conflict, Blind, very interesting. Lots of anger, frustration, and isolation wrapped up in a very powerful beat.
I'm sure you've noticed by my last playlist and this one, I'm not super into metal, right?
No, not really.
It's not like I'm not. It's some of it is fine. The first time I heard this, I was at a roller rink.
A roller rink,
like 96, maybe 97. And I heard this. I'm like, what is this? Because it's like, it has a long buildup with the ride cymbal.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you hear the guitar. And it just comes in with, what's the guy's name? Jonathan something, the lead singer. His vocals come in. And at the time, it's like nothing I heard before,
Oh, yeah.
And it was just so heavy. I love this song. I don't really like Korn as a band, their other stuff, but this song always stuck with me.
Yeah, again, they're not really on my radar, but I like this song, and the video's good. A lot of high energy, and I might go back and listen to some of their other stuff now, because I like this one, so maybe there's some other stuff I like. But very interesting. I don't really understand. Labels are a thing. Usually, every band gets pigeonholed into some category by the record producers in order to try to figure out how to market them. So they are considered new metal, whatever that is. But
I think new metal was a term coined in the late 90s, but I always thought new metal had like a rapper, like Limp Bizkit and POD and those bands.
Yeah.
But they don't have a rapper in their band. So I don't know, but I guess new metal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, NoFX. This is good. Very classic punk sound, fun song, good lyrics. I like where this is going. Punk in Drublic. Very cool album. And Linoleum is about what you would think. It's about a linoleum floor, and there's like two levels to the message. It's like, yes, I'm punk. Yes, I don't believe in owning possessions, but yeah, I do have a place and it has a floor. It's okay. It's a normal thing. People have floors, and I spend a lot of time on it because I pass out drunk, and it's my friend.
Yeah.
It always catches me.
Yeah. The punk rock lifestyle of, the guy's a millionaire, but anyway, I think it's one of the best punk rock songs ever. I mean, of course, I'm going to be biased towards 90s stuff because that's my era. But NoFX is definitely at the top of my list when it comes to punk bands. And this is probably my favorite song by them. It's so catchy, man. This song just says that, Fat Mike, the guy that the singer and the songwriter, he's really good at coming up with these super catchy hooks.
And he's very funny. I mean,
he is.
Got a good sense of humor, and you can tell that in the way they put this stuff out.
For sure.
The floor is always your most supportive friend.
Yeah.
These are things to just Now I know you gamed now and then. Did you ever play this when it was on Guitar Hero?
I never played Guitar Hero.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was so when Guitar Hero was a thing, I was a big time snob, and I was like, huh, I play real music, not fake video game music, nerds. So
right.
I know what a douchebag, right? But I never played Guitar Hero.
I thought it was a cool idea to be able to buy fake instruments and get the feeling like you were in a band without
Sure,
actually having to learn how to play. You just had to learn how to push
absolutely.
buttons. It's like,
No,
yeah.
at this point, now that I'm old, I agree. I've matured, Jim. But at the time, I was a massive douchebag. I was in my
Understandable.
20s.
But as a toy collector, you must know we don't get old. We become vintage.
That's right.
Then we're
Okay.
collectible.
Mhm. My pleather is flaking. My
Oof.
joints are loose, but yeah.
That's almost a song right there. That's like an ode to Mezco. Frickin'
Yeah.
Mezco. Pleather. My which one was it? It was either Blade. No, it wasn't Blade. It was the Green Arrow. His pleather started flaking. I was like, dude, you're
Yeah.
killing me.
Oh, you live in a very environmentally
humid.
extreme. Yeah, humid. Yeah.
I keep my Mezcos in a glass case, but there's only so much I can do. I don't
Right.
have AC, and I don't have them hermetically sealed. So yeah, they suffer the ravages of the weather here.
Yep.
So my Mezcos I don't buy as many as I used to. I'm more into like the Mofex and the SH Figure Arts because they can handle the weather better.
Same here. Yeah.
So, but anyway, speaking of weathering storms,
Hall and Oates, huh?
Hall and Oates.
I did not get into this song in the 80s. So I don't know if you remember when HDTV was brand new.
Mhm.
On at least where I'm at, there was a couple of cable channels that specialize in only HD content. Like most channels weren't in HD yet. So this is
Right.
probably 2005 or 6 maybe, I don't really remember. But on this
Live at Daryl's house. Is that the one you're thinking
Yes,
of? Yes, I
it
love
was a
that
show
show.
live at Daryl's house, and it was Daryl Hall, and he just have random friends over to his home studio, and they play songs.
Yeah.
I don't remember who his guest was at on this episode, but they played this song, and everyone's heard this song. If you go to the grocery store, it's probably playing on the music system, right? So like everyone's heard it at some point. But when I heard him play it live on that show, I'm like, oh, this is actually a really good song. Like this guy can sing. Like he knows how to, he knows how to play. And the musicians that he was playing with were so just dialed in and tight. And I was heavy into playing in my band at the time. And so I kind of fell in love with this song. And I was like, man, this whole
I was going to say, being a musician, you have an ear for when a band syncs together well. And these guys are really good.
Oh, Daryl Hall he's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And the song itself, I did not know this, but it was written not about a girl, but about a boy. Apparently, Daryl Hall's girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
6 Degrees of Seven Bacon or Kevin
Wow.
Bacon kind of thing. So apparently, Sarah Allen, who also co-wrote this song, her ex-boyfriend before Daryl was a bit of a jerk, and she told Daryl about it, and they sat down and wrote this song. But it's like Rich Boy doesn't really have the same ring to it, so they changed it to Rich Girl.
Gotcha. Yeah. Huh, interesting. I'm learning so much from your show.
Yeah, we strive not only to entertain but to educate. So spay and neuter your animals, like Bob Barker used to say.
Oh, there you go. I guess these guys are in a big feud right now, some legal battle or something.
Yeah. From what I have heard, they don't speak to each other anymore, other than through lawyers. There was some issues over being able to perform certain songs and re-record certain songs, and I don't know where it started. It's a bummer because they're both really good together, but apparently they don't get along anymore. So
they do not. No.
It happens.
Yep.
Bands break up. Just had a thought and it went right away. There was another band I think on your playlist that just recently broke up. When they come up, I'll see if that jogs my Swiss cheese memory.
Okay.
Classic, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say that hasn't been said? I mean, the song tells a story,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, and just Johnny Cash's voice, and he's such a rebel. I don't
yeah,
know. I love Johnny Cash. This is one of my favorite songs of his. I know I had one on the last list.
yeah. And he's another one that has a very unique tone and sound to what he does. He is one of the original Nashville Rebels.
Yeah.
Was very, very much about outlaw country in a
Mhm.
time when the record producer said, "You're going to do it this way, and this is the way," and he's like, "No." And him and Hank and Waylon Jennings and those guys just kind of said, "We're going to do our own thing, and you know what? You guys can either produce it or we'll produce it ourselves." And they were vindicated. But
One
this
of the go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say this was actually inspired by a movie that Johnny had seen called Walls of Folsom Prison. That I didn't know.
I think one of the best recorded versions of this song was when he did it at Folsom Prison.
Yeah, and I
Love
think
that.
that is the soundtrack that we put into the playlist video link. So
Okay.
I don't have any actual video footage, but this is the recording from when he was at the prison when he performed this. So
If there is video footage, I would like to see that because I've never seen video footage of that performance. That would be cool.
I've only seen pictures. I don't know if they allowed motion picture cameras into the prison, but they did have some cameramen there, and you can see in the background of this slide that that is a picture of Johnny on stage at the prison.
Very
So,
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. The backstory to this is cool, and it's just one of those songs that it's timeless.
Yeah.
Tells a good story, and it's part of his legend. So
Absolutely. What happened to Chad? Still no Chad?
I don't know. No
Okay.
Chad. Something came up. Hopefully he'll send us a message. I hope he's okay. We'll definitely check on him after we finish the playlist. So Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, a very 90s sound. They were kind of like a soundtrack for late 90s everything for a while there. It's like they showed up on TV shows. They showed up on, or at least their music did. This was used in several movies. You couldn't turn on VH1 without seeing this video like every 5 minutes for a while. So much so I got sick of the song. It's like play something else. Not that it's a bad
I can
song.
see that. No, I could totally see being sick of this song because this song was played a lot.
Oh yeah.
But it was also at a time when I could, I feel like when you're 16, you could listen to the same song over and over and over again. I can't
fair.
now, but yeah, I mean they were part of the big ska revival, I guess, of the 90s, and this is another one of those albums that's like Siamese Dream. It's solid from the first song to the last song, like everything. And this was the most popular single from the album, but I still say it's the best.
I think it is the best. Even though they were very ska, they also kind of reminded me of. There was a kind of I want to say like a electro swing, retro swing kind of vibe that was coming in the late 80s. That they kind of have that sound with the horn section at least. And
sure, I mean I could see that. Yeah, a little bit of swing influence, definitely punk rock influence. That East Coast. Well, they're from Boston, right? So
that's where Boss Tones comes from. Yeah.
Yep.
They're Boston roots.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a good song. I like it. I'm just I went through the phase where I just couldn't listen to it anymore because it was like totally saturated. Now I'm over that, and I can listen to it again now and appreciate it. It's a very positive. It's a very upbeat. The lyrics are about, hey, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm gonna roll with it because I'm a positive dude.
If you watch the music video to this song, you'll see a guy that's in there just dancing, right? I never thought anything of it. I was like, okay, there's a guy dancing in the video. When you see him in concert, that guy is on stage dancing the whole time. They have a guy in the band that's just there to dance on the stage.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch the video. I
Yeah.
probably didn't catch it.
I've seen him in concert probably half a dozen times or so. And yeah, he's
Is
on
he a
there.
roadie or is he just like a mascot?
No,
or?
he's, they usually wear suits, right?
Yeah.
And he's up there and he's in the suit just like the rest of the band, and he's dancing.
But he doesn't sing. He doesn't play an instrument.
No, he might do like background vocals, like shout something out, Yeah, but they have a dancer in the band.
It's great work if you can get it, man. Just
Yeah,
throw on a suit, look pretty, and keep with the dance steps. We're good.
absolutely.
Speaking of freaking dance steps, I love this song.
Isn't it
This
good?
is so good. And the
Yeah.
video is hilarious.
Yep.
I mean, I've liked him since I heard the one he did about the thrift store.
Thrift
popping-
shop or whatever.
Yeah. Popping
Yeah.
tags and all that good stuff. And this one I hadn't listened to, and put on the video, and just the beginning of it, I thought it was a Tarantino flick. He's pulling
Yeah.
heavily from that, the Western vibes, and he's dressed in this ridiculous cowboy suit, as you can see on the cover of the album. There.
Right.
He's having fun, and he just goes right into his role of, hey, I'm loving life. I'm doing well. I'm going to get me a caddy, because caddies are freaking cool.
Yeah. So this one, as far as Macklemore goes, I'm not like a huge fan. Thrift Shop was cool. Now you talk about a song being overplayed.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Thrift Shop song, my God, was that overplayed? But this one wasn't as well known, and Macklemore is a good rapper, but I think the best part of his music is the choruses, and most of the choruses he's not really in.
That's
Right?
true.
The chorus of this song is a woman singing,
Yeah.
and so I give,
Hollis, and
Yeah.
she's good.
and so
like it.
I give most of the credit to Ryan Lewis, the producer, right, or his music guy.
Right.
and-
It puts it all together. Yeah.
And that's not a slight against Macklemore. I'm not like, I'm not saying
Right.
he's bad. I'm just
No, he's not the
saying-
world's greatest rapper, but he's good at putting the whole thing together and making it a fun scene. So
right.
kudos for that.
Yeah, but the really where this song shines is the chorus.
Oh yeah. And the video. The video
Yeah, the
makes
video.
it for me.
Yeah,
And
a lot of low end. If you got a good system in your car, that's a good song.
you can
to
feel
crank.
it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Schoolboy Q spitting some lyrics on this that are very good.
Mhm.
Again, he does well working with others. He finds good collaborators and makes a good sound. So this one's a good one to check out. One of his most recent ones, I think I sent you a link. He let his daughter produce a video. It's just like, hey, I'm going to do a video. You figure out what you want to do and we'll shoot it. And they did. And it was fun. So,
I didn't know he was still making music. I haven't heard anything from him in a long time.
yeah, this one was like from about a year ago. I think that was the most recent thing he's done. So,
Cool.
but yeah, Macklemore, if you haven't listened to him recently, give him another shot, because at least with White Walls, it's a fun one. And do watch the video. It's cool. Even if you just love caddies, you'll love the video.
Right on.
He is, as we mentioned, he is originally a Seattle boy.
He still lives
And-
here.
Yeah. So are the guys on this track from Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yeah.
My posse on Broadway, I always thought when I heard this, because I didn't know any better, I thought this was somewhere in New York. Broadway is in Seattle. They're talking about
Yeah.
Seattle in this song. I did not know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Broadway is kind of well, it's downtown Seattle, right? But it's kind of a good neighborhood to go to if you like bar hopping and stuff. And
Cool.
he mentions it in this song, Dick's Cheeseburgers, right? And that's Dick's Cheeseburgers is like Seattle's In-N-Out. Like
Ooh,
if you're in Seattle, you know where to go to get a good fast food burger. It's Dick's.
cool.
And there's an awesome picture that I actually shared today with Scott Hughes, who loves Sir Mix-a-Lot. And it's him and Kid Sensation and a couple other guys in front of that Dick's on Broadway in Seattle. But
Very cool.
I mentioned on the Macklemore song, if if you have a good system in your car, put this one on. Well, this one, even better. I mean, my Posse's on Broadway has deep bass, and you put that on a good system in the car. And I've literally had this playing in my car when I was a lot younger. Windows rolled down, cranked, right?
Just cruising through the neighborhood.
Driving down Broadway in Seattle. People must have thought I was the biggest nerd, which I would not argue with. But yeah. I love this song.
It's a fun song. It is classic hip hop. And they make fun of themselves a little bit in the video, you know, right off in the beginning. They're trying to get this record sold, and the guy's in there, we only play real music. So they beat up the guy at the radio station because he doesn't like hip hop. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this would have been late 80s, early 90s when this came out. So, I mean, hip hop was popular, but it hadn't kind of taken over music yet.
It wasn't mainstream like it is now, definitely.
Right.
And watching the music video again, realizing that it's Seattle, oh well, shit, Seattle's all over the video, man. They're in Seattle. It's like I just didn't register when I listened to it as a kid.
He's he still lives in the area. He's like closer to the mountains now, but Sir Mix-a-Lot's still here.
Did he make a cameo in that Macklemore video? I want to say he's in there like in a tow truck or something. I don't know.
In which one?
On White Walls.
White Walls? Maybe.
I think he shows up for just a second, just as a little. He doesn't do anything in the song, but I think he's in the video.
He's a bit larger now than he was in those days.
Yeah. So he's mixing it a lot. He's mixing a lot of the milkshakes.
Yeah. Yep. At Dick's Cheeseburgers. Yep.
Of course.
I saw him in concert once in Seattle. And it was a lot of fun, man. It was like the early 2000s. And he finished the concert with his big one.
Baby Got Back.
Baby Got Back. Right? And he invited all the women in the crowd to come up on stage.
Get them to shake it.
Well, the women went up, but the women were a little past their due date, if you know what I mean. Just like, because I'm in my early 20s at the time. So I'm looking at, 40-year-old women up there. I'm like, oh, okay. You do you.
Love comes in all sizes, Ryan.
That's right. Hey, no hate here. Nothing but love.
As another side note, there is a sample from The Payback by James Brown in this track.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either until I looked it up. But it's there.
Cool.
And that, sir, is the remix of the Infinite Playlist with Ryan LaserPants.
Wow, we went through that really fast.
I was going to say, that is one of the quickest playlists we've gone through. Mostly because I usually have a third wheel to comment with us, but for some reason, Chad was unavailable, unfortunately, as was Wilhelm. But we will carry on as we must.
Well, since we got a little bit of time,
yeah.
And on the last Infinite Playlist, I mentioned that I played drums with Green Day a couple times.
Cool.
Do you remember that?
I do.
And I said I would tell that story. I would tell that story in the next episode. So just real quick, it's not that crazy, but
this isn't one of those like one time when I was at band camp.
No,
it's not one of those kind of stories. Okay.
No, this is 2004, and me and my wife were dating at the time, and so we get tickets to go see Green Day, and they're playing up north at the Everett Event Center. So we go up there, and I'm not thinking nothing of it, but I'd seen Green Day in concert before, and they had always like done this thing where they pulled people out of the audience to come up and play instruments on one song, right?
Cool.
And so I'm a drummer, right? And it's 2004, and so I'm like 23 years old. And most of Green Day's fans are teenagers, right? So I'm like one of the older guys there.
You're the old guy, yeah.
Yeah, at 23, right? So I work my way to the front of the crowd real easy. And this is an arena, right? So I work my way to the front of the crowd, and they're playing a song, and they finish a song, and the lead singer, Billy Joe, is in front. And he's like, we want someone else to come up and play this next song. And I'm like, this is my moment. This is my moment.
It's like, I'm
He's like,
there.
he's like, first we need a drummer, and I'm right there, like a head taller than everyone else, and I'm like, I'm a drummer, right? Throwing children out of the way, and he's like, you can play drums? I said, yes, I can play drums. He's like, play this song, and so I just kind of air drummed it, you know. He's like, okay, get up here. So the security came and grabbed me and threw me up on stage. It wasn't that easy for him to throw me up on stage, but so I get up there and I go back and the drummer Trey Cool is sitting there, and it's just a simple beat, just a pa, right? And he says, play it just like this and don't stop. He's like, keep the timing good. I said, okay. So he stands up, he's still playing, and I slide into the chair behind him. And he hands me the sticks and keep it going. And he's standing there next to me like, right on, you're doing good. And then they brought up a guitar player and a bass player. And we played an Operation Ivy song called Knowledge. Super easy. And so we played that, and we're finishing the song, and Trey Cool is like, hey, Big Phil, like big ending, right? And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I do one at the end. And Trey Cool, you know, this guy who I've been listening to since I was a teenager, you know, since like, well, I guess 94. He's like telling me to do a drum solo, a big finish, right? And I do one, and he's next to me. He's like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm doing good. Right. Nice. And so he lets me keep the sticks.
Oh, cool.
And the guitar player got to keep the guitar.
Very nice. And you're like, I just got sticks. Dude got a freaking guitar.
The bass player left empty-handed. They didn't give him a bass. Yeah, that was cool, man. That was a lot of fun. And then, okay, so the next year they're coming back in town. I'm like, well, we got to go again. So we get tickets again. The day of, my wife gets sick. So I go with a buddy. I go with a friend of mine. And I'm not kidding you. This is at the Tacoma Dome, which is south of Seattle, like 30 minutes. Tacoma Dome, same exact thing happens.
Giant venue, and you're like, no way they're going to see me again.
I was like, it'll never happen again, right? And it did. Same thing. Like, pulled up on stage, right? There's this kid in the crowd that recognized me. He's like, no, not that guy. He's like, we did it last year. And Billy Joe looked at me. He's like, you've been up here before? And I was like, oh. Yeah. Right? I said, no. He's like, all right, get up here. And we played the same song, Knowledge, by it's like the Green Day version of Knowledge.
Okay.
And then, yeah, same thing. Kept the sticks, walked off. Except this time, I'm standing by the sound booth after the show, and people are walking out, and the guy at the sound booth is like, was that you up there playing drums? I said, yeah. And he's like, here, hold on, I got something for you. And he pulled out some broken drum heads.
Ooh.
He's like, these are from last night's show. And he gives them to me. I was like, wait, he's like, these are Trey Cool's drum heads. Sweet. I'm like, you're kidding. Yeah, so he gave me some busted drum heads, which was pretty cool. And now I haven't listened to Green Day since probably 2005. I don't, not
but
really
back
into.
In the day, you knew the song.
Yeah.
You were there. You were ready to get in the pocket.
I just wanted to be on stage at an arena because it was mind blowing. I mean, you're playing a beat and you're looking at the crowd, and you see everyone's fist, kind of going to the beat that you're making.
That's got to be a rush. I mean, you feel the energy coming at you from all these people in the crowd.
Dude, I understand why these guys keep touring like the Rolling Stones until they're 90.
It's nothing like it.
Yeah. Nothing like it, man. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, once again, the Infinite Playlist remix with Ryan LaserPants. It's here. It's in stereophonic sound somewhere. Thanks, Ryan.
No, thank you.
This always fun hanging with you. I know you're a busy guy, and I enjoy it. I appreciate your time. Sorry I didn't have a co-host with anything. Things happen. We just roll with it.
You got to roll with it, man. Trust me, I get it. I had to roll with not having a good mic. My mic broke right before the show. Like, it's not working. So I'm talking through the mic in my laptop. That's why I sound like ass. I apologize. Okay.
It's not too bad.
But now I get to go buy a new mic, and I want to get the Joe Rogan mic.
That's the one on the arm kind of.
Well, I have that arm. I just need this mic, this Yeti mic. It's like my second or third one, and I'm not going to buy another one.
That's fair. I've been working with the gaming headset for a while just because my other mic it sounds like I'm in a tin pan alley when I don't have the headphones on. So I got
No,
to tweak my audio.
your audio sounds good.
Well, thanks. I just graduated from broadcasting school and I can't help but talk this way. All right. Well, I'm going to roll a beautiful little commercial here for some friends of ours. And then I'm going to say adieu. And
Okay.
we will see you on the 3POA. Anything fun happening in the Pants Palace in the near future we should be aware of?
Well, let's see. This is going up next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday should be a good show. Just
Okay.
saying.
All
Just
right.
saying.
We'll keep tuned in.
All right, man. Thank you, Jim.
And thank you. And for all of your plastic goodness needs, check out. Chad, hey buddy.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I decided I didn't want to hang out with you guys, so then I changed my mind.
I would have been okay with that, but you didn't even leave us a skid mark. There was no skid mark on the mic.
No, I don't know where he went. I don't. He usually sits right here, like right here on the shelf. I mean, you can't see his perch because it's under my name, but he has a perch right here, and I don't know where he went.
Did he become a victim of the cat?
Maybe, like my Ethernet.
So what happened? We were hanging. We saw you. We rolled credits. We came back. We saw a chair.
Yeah, apparently you saw a frozen chair because I don't know, brother Gremlins, because I came back in the room and I can see you guys, but I can't see me, and I'm going like this, and I'm turning stuff off and I'm turning them on, and I'm like, I don't see anything changing on the screen, and
that is refreshing
because spinny and it just went white.
Yeah. It's usually me with the Guatemalan Gremlins. I wig out, my signal goes out, my sound goes out. Yeah. Poor Will has to try to keep things rolling while I'm going in.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. But I am in New Mexico, so it's probably aliens.
It could be.
Yeah.
It's usually
probably
aliens.
Yeah.
Or Elvis as an alien. I've heard that theory too. Anything with a tinfoil hat involved, I'm there.
Elvis co-piloting with aliens and Tupac.
Nice. That's a bumper sticker.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
Elvis is my co-pilot and Tupac. Yeah.
Yeah. In my UFO. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, and I'm sorry, but something just went weird.
Yeah. Things go pear-shaped, sideways. That's snafu.
Yeah.
We are familiar with snafu. That is
for as great as StreamYard is. I don't know what the deal was. So.
Well, I'm glad you popped back in so we can tell the folks at home, Chad is fine. He didn't have like a emergency. There were no chimichangas harmed in the making of this film.
No chupacabras came and got me. Yeah. I'm good.
The mam is good. The cat's good. The kid's good. Everything's good. Okay.
Yep. Mam's good. Everybody's doing well. Counting down my terminal leave. You know how it is.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Way to get that retiree ID.
Yep. Get you some flip flops and a drink with an umbrella in it. You're set. You've already got the Hawaiian shirt.
I'm slowly working on the beard. You can see the white.
Nice.
Slowly. Yeah.
Yes. The vintage look.
Yeah.
Yes. Because we don't get old. We just get vintage.
That's right. Yeah. I haven't shaved in 3 days, and I'm like, yeah, look at me go.
You rebel.
I know. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, your old CO is just going to be rolling his eyes when he sees you, I'm sure.
So I actually ran into my old commander. He's a major at the troop command now, so he's above the battalion level now. And he's in the S3, so operations at the troop command level. And I ran into him. I went into one of our buildings, and I was walking in. He was walking out, and I was like, "What's up, sir?" And so my soul patch, right? As we're talking, he's just staring at it like this the whole time.
Like there's
he's like a short guy. He's like 5'6", so he has a perfect view of my soul patch right here, and he's just staring at it. And I've known this Major for so long,
You know his brain is just screaming, "You're out of ring!"
but I was like, well, I'm also in civvies, so I'm
Oh,
waiting for him to say something, and I know that he knows that I'm waiting for him to say something.
So he ain't
And
saying it.
he knows that I would say, I freaking dare you to say something. He didn't say anything. We just chatted, like, he knows I'm on terminal leave, but there are those people who are so much like, well, AR 670-1 clearly states that even if you're on leave, you still have to be within regulations. And I'd be like, sir, I'm retiring. Like, get out of here with that. But
It's not like you showed up with a face tattoo and earrings or something. I mean,
no, I didn't show up
just a
with the
soul
Mike
patch.
Tyson, but no, he didn't say anything. And I was like, the whole conversation, because he's a huge Star Wars collector. And so we're talking about toys and we're talking about this and, how's your wife? How's your daughter? Blah, blah, blah. And we're talking about, but he's just staring like right here the whole time. And I was like, I hate, he knows that look, right? So he has this really thick accent and he'd always be like, can I swear?
Sure.
Yeah, he would always be like,
We're
"What
adults
the
here."
fuck, Chad? What the fuck, Chad?" Like all the time, and I was waiting for him to say something. Be like, "Sir, fuck out of here with that."
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you're getting ready to become a civilian again. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad your internet didn't blow up or something.
I'm good, thank you. Yeah,
I'll-
I am sorry to you and to Ryan and everybody
no.
else. Shit happens. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll edit this into the video so people know you didn't just get abducted. You weren't probed by
No, I'm here.
aliens.
I'm here in the
You're here.
flesh. Yeah, I'm
All
here.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you in the very near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And glad to see you here. So
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Trust.